Ah yes, I'm ready, I'm locked in. Welcome everybody, welcome to my channel, welcome to my first video, and welcome to Tiny Bunny. I was so excited to play this game 4 years ago, and then I completely forgot about it until last week. So let's see how this game treats us. It seems to be very interesting, so let's go. Ooh. I like the style, I have to say that. The art style is beautiful. The wind clawed at my window all night long. It wandered the fields and howled like a hungry beast. An endless song weaved from all sorts of voices, shrill, gentle, sneery, twined in the air. They were shouting and laughing, and arguing about something. Someone was running through the snow while casting long shadows that would occasionally creep close to my bed. Our house had a wind of its own. A wind. Our house had a mind of its own, the creaky old mind of a building that had seen a lot in its days and was seemingly trying to share its wisdom with the inhabitants. I'm so sorry if I mispronounce and butchering everything. I promise I can speak English. The lonely house faced the forest, and the dark green thicket gazed back with its hollow eyes, rustling, whizzing, swaying back and forth. One could come out and stand at the edge of the forest to reassure themselves there was nobody behind the crooked trees. Fuzzy silhouettes swaying in the wind couldn't possibly do any harm. It's just a play of light and shadow. Just a play. I knew it was just my imagination. I was already 12 after all. Still. Oh, it's a fox, that's nice. Episode 1, the owl will arrive. Okay.
Убери книгу немедленно.
Oh, they added voice acting. That's so cool. Hey, put away your book.
Сколько раз говорила, не читай за столом, вредно. Сидишь, сутулился весь.
Oh shit, it's so professional, I love it. How many times have I told you not to read at the table? It's bad for your health. Look at how slouched you are. That is true. The posture is bad. Reading is not. The posture, you need a good posture. Look at me, I'm... Wow. I mean, yeah, it's the polite thing to do, right? Okay. I didn't protest and put the book about Conan the Barbarian aside. Okay, good. I was stuck on a line I couldn't understand after reading it 3 times anyway. Olga? Yes, I think it's Olga, right? Yeah, I'm gonna call her Olga. Olga had already finished her breakfast and was munching on some cookies. She was so enthusiastic? Oh my god, I can speak English, I promise. Just badly, but I try. She was so enthusiastic about it. She almost looked like your typical girl from commercials.
Пока не съешь, из-за стола не встанешь.
You're not going anywhere till you finish all of it. Okay. I, on the other hand, was still trying to drill a hole on the plate with my eyes as if it would make the porridge disappear. You have a very developed language for a kid. I assumed you are in the future narrating this, right? Hazy anxiousness welled up inside, all because of the previous sleepless night, the black forest around our house and the gloomy wind. The longer I waited, the colder the lumpy white substance became. It looked like a jellyfish from the Cousteau Odyssey. I love that show. I love documentaries. I wonder how horrifying the bottom of the ocean is. It's not that bad. Or how cold the black forest is at night. Probably very cold. I'm seeing the ice on your window. It's probably not very warm, is it? Sorry, Mom. The spoon fell out of my hand. Mom showered me with a cold glare from her green eyes. I'm sorry.
Что я говорила?
What did I just say?
Я достану.
I'll get it. Oh shit. I'm so surprised. I saw the demo of the game and back then they didn't have voice acting yet. I had 10 seconds to catch my breath before battling the nasty porridge once again. I felt around for the spoon. What is this scarf on the other side of the table? Karina. Ha, that's my mom's name. I guess she carved it out with something pointy when she was little. What a rebel. She sure was a rascal damaging the furniture like that. Yeah, I assume she didn't get caught, because holy shit, if I did that in my house. She would scold me for a week if I did something similar though. Should I remind her about it? She's been in a bit of a bad mood lately. Oof. I imagine her being my age, sitting under this table. I wonder, was Mom afraid of the dark back then? Or the sounds coming from the attic? Or the thick forest? I imagine my grandma coming into my little mom's room, sitting at the edge of her bed, where Olga sleeps nowadays, and saying this in her soft, smooth voice.
Тайга особое место, дитятка.
Taiga is a special place, little girl.
Она к тебе присматривается, принюхивается,
It's watching you closely, sniffing you out.
словно хочет понять, что ты за зверь такой.
I'm like waiting for them to talk because it feels disrespectful to interrupt them. Trying to discern what kind of beast you are.
Понравишься, в беде не бросит.
If you're the good sort, it won't abandon you in times of trouble.
А будешь проказничать, схватит за бочок и утащит с собой под землю.
But if you're a bad apple, it'll grab you by the side and drag you under the ground. Behave is what I'm telling you. Behave or the forest will eat you. Also, I like the art style so much. It's beautiful.
Тут и дело с концом.
And that would be it. Grandma was scary. She never fought with anybody, never yelled, never swore. Those were the times without the maddening screens until late at night, without smashed dishes and mutual accusations. Oh? Our parents used to love each other back then. Oh, okay, yeah, okay. I remember listening in one of their conversations by chance. They were talking about Grandma getting prepared for her funeral. She had already bought a casket. She called her cute funeral box. It waited for its time in the closet, patiently. It was black, upholstered with meat-colored material on the inside. I saw it when my grandma was getting buried. The house didn't change since the time she was alive. Only all the photos were gone. Glass-covered pictures with grey faces of my ancestors. They all had a dead but watchful look in their eyes. I crawled out from under the table. I am fighting for my life. I am so sorry. Olga was done with her cookies and was looking at my share with a sly woodland critter. Like a sly woodland critter. I turned my gaze toward the first window. There were a lot of dark pines outside, but they didn't grab my attention. The pattern of frost formed a picture on the glass.
Оля, гляди, лиса!
Olia, look, it's a fox.
Где?
Where? It looked almost like those optical illusion thingies they put on the back of student notebooks. A mixture of lines at first glance, but if you blur your vision a little bit and look under a certain angle.
Да не на улице, на стекле.
Not outside, on the window.
Смотри, вот нос, вот.
Look, here's the nose and here's...
Ну-ка, доедай.
Hey, eat up.
Да, да, сейчас.
Yes, just a moment.
Я ничего не вижу.
I don't see anything.
Живо. Совсем немного осталось.
Hurry up, there's not much left.
А, вот. Но все равно не похоже.
Ah, there it is. But it still doesn't look like one.
А я говорю, похоже.
And I'm telling you it does.
Не-а.
Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh, it doesn't.
Похоже.
It does.
Прекратите. Ну что за дети?
Stop it. These kids, I swear. Yeah, I grew up with siblings. This is normal. Now I couldn't see the fox either. It disappeared. Went away. Only the frosty patterns, similar to stretched out nettle leaves, kept creeping up the glass. Yeah, it's fucking cold, man. My dad entered the kitchen with long, measured steps. I want to have a beard like his when I grow up. He has a good beard. All things considered, that is a good beard. My mom always asked, jokingly, come on, shave it off, it stings. That was so long ago. Nowadays, rumbling doors and witty comebacks were an everyday occurrence. Olia always covers her ears whenever she hears something like, what's the point in all of this? Through the wall. It's all for your sake, Dad would reply, for the sake of our family. I always got every sound in fear of hearing the most dreaded, the deadliest word that started with a D. D-I-V-O. I don't even want to finish it. It was scary to imagine that me and my little sister could be torn apart and taken into two different families.
Да что твоя лиса? Вот у меня на окне сова.
Anyway, your fox is nothing. I have an owl on my window. Lucky.
Опять ты со своей совой.
You and your old tuck again.
Так ты же вчера мне верил.
You said you believed me just yesterday.
Никто ключи от машины не видел?
Has anybody saved my car keys?
Вроде оставлял на подоконнике.
I remember leaving them on the windowsill.
Вроде.
Right.
Вроде оставлял, вроде нет.
Maybe you did and maybe not.
Вроде взрослый мужчина, отец двоих детей, а вроде...
You're a grown man, a father of two, and still...
Перестань, пожалуйста, Карина.
Karina, please, stop.
Дай мне спокойно собраться.
Just let me get ready in peace.
В корзине твои ключи, возле телефона.
Your keys are in the basket, near the phone.
Огромное тебе человеческое спасибо.
Well, thank you very much.
Антон, ешь быстрее, а то как мученик сидишь.
And Tom, stop making a martyr out of yourself and finish eating already.
А сова?
But the owl...
Не было там никакой совы.
There was no owl.
Была.
But there was one.
Глазюки огромные. Во, и светятся.
It had giant glowing eyes. Olia sprung from the chair and placed her hands on her little face, imitating a pair of eyes with her fingers the size of an apple each. I was gonna say with her big fingers, like, these are the size of my fingers, guys. This is my finger.
В прошлом году бабай в шкафу. Сейчас сова?
Last year you had babai in your closet, and now this owl? What? What is babai? Oh, we have a glossary? Oh. Babai, in Slavic folklore, a nocturnal spirit used by parents to threaten their ill-behaving children. Ah, okay. I love that. I love the glossary. That's great.
Но я же видела.
But I saw it. Olia shifted her gaze back and forth from dad to mom to me, but couldn't find any support.
А ты не думала подружиться с ней, нет?
Have you thought about befriending it?
Вымышленными мышами покормить, например?
You know, like feeding it with imaginary mice? Okay, dad, shut up.
Не подначивай ребенка.
Don't bully your girl. Thank you. Thank you.
Просто мала еще. И спать одна боится.
She's just afraid to sleep alone because she's still little. Yeah, it makes sense. Olia pouted her lips in rebellion and rushed into the hallway. The staircase that led to the second floor creaked. Mom gave Dad a strict look. Shit. 1 second. Oh, that look in her eyes. It's so uncomfortable to be pinned under it. Yeah, she's mad. She's big mad. Dad just nodded in reply and left, ringing with the keys he just found. A minute had passed and the theme song from The Little Mermaid echoed through the house. It was stored on an incredibly worn out cassette tape, which Dad had already glued together once. It's so easy to fix objects by gluing them back together, for example. But how do you fix a relationship? You're a kid, you shouldn't have to be... Oh yeah, my neighbor is getting drill happy, thank you. But how do you fix a relationship? You're a kid, you shouldn't have to be thinking about this stuff. Mom moved to the living room and I was left alone, anxiously stealing glances at the window. Okay. Olga had trouble sleeping ever since we moved to this house. She would toss and turn or curled up into a ball under her blanket. Sometimes she would just jump up in the middle of the night and turn on the VCR. Cartoons helped to take her mind off all the troubles we had with the move and our parents. Then Olia said she saw that giant flying monster outside her window. Oh, poor baby, oh. She became obsessed with it. I would too. If I saw a giant monster outside of my window, I would be terrified every night. What the hell? Our parents did everything in their power. They tried every little trick to get rid of those ridiculous fears. Have you tried getting rid of the owl? Olga refused to sleep alone and didn't believe that the owl was just one of her nightmares. Yeah, I wouldn't believe it either if I was a kid. What the hell? After last night, I wasn't sure what to make of my sister's words, what to think of it myself. Can nightmares be infectious? I don't know. That night, I couldn't get a wink of sleep and ended up thinking of what to expect from my new school. There were a couple of days left before the beginning of a new term. My imagination drew long, twisting hallways that led to a classroom full of kids. But all the students behind their desks were simply dark figures, cut out using a template. Circular holes gape in the middle of their faces, and pairs of eyes blink inside of those holes. It was as if some completely different creatures were looking at me from behind the flat black silhouettes. I am fighting for my life. I am not escaping the illiterate allegations. Their cruel glares filled with icy sneers made me shiver from head to toe. If this was in Spanish, it would be so easy for me. Will I survive here? Won't they gang up on me and beat me down, stomp me with their bloodied shoes? The damn school can burn for all I care. Yeah, I feel you, kid. I just wished for anything to happen to it. Doesn't really matter what. I didn't want to go there that badly. I didn't want to see people who are just itching to smack me on the head, trip me up, think of a new offensive name for me. Worse than the previous one. I felt like the glasses I wore made me an outsider or some sort of monster. My gaze slid across the drawings hanging on the walls. I couldn't consider myself a great artist, but Olga begged me to hang them. Drawing was the only thing that made me happy as of late. They don't seem bad. They seem pretty cool actually. The small circle of friends I had also enjoyed my paintings, and they promised to call me from time to time. Sometimes I imagine my mom picking up the phone and saying in a cold voice, "You've got the wrong number," or "Anton is not around. Anton is not around." I imagine my future classmates lying in their beds, just like me, listening to the house of invisible werewolves outside of their windows. Maybe my new classmates will like me after all? But who would ever like a boy with thick glasses? Your glasses are not... they're not ugly. I'm biased, okay? But glasses don't make you ugly. But it is true that kids pick up on anything that makes you different. I mean, my dad used to wear glasses when he was little, and now he's married to the most beautiful woman on the planet, my mom. Aww. The condo we used to live in, a 9th-floor concrete building, buzzed with the neighbor's drill, mumbled with a TV set from behind the wall, cried like a baby from the big family next door. Our current house, though I can't really call it new, was completely different. It was silent and easygoing during the day. Its shadows lay dormant in the corners, on the closet cobwebs, and under the stairs. But they all woke up during the night. I'm so sorry. Give me a second. Something was watching me from every corner, almost as if old photos of my deceased family with their ashen eyes were hanging on the walls in place of my drawings. The floor was squeaking, rusty drains were moaning, the attic was occupied by noisy drafts. One could think the house was performing some sort of demonic melody. And then I realized I was, in fact, hearing music. It was already playing for a good while. Somewhere at the edge of my perception, I could hear a flute. It was mixed in with the sound of the wind, of the creaking old house, and my thoughts too. I stood up and rushed to the window. I wanted to reassure myself that this music was nothing more than a product of my imagination. It's not like someone is playing in there, amidst the cold, snowy night, right? Oh! Someone was playing in the field. Black silhouettes I could barely make out, with the dark forest as their backdrop. They jumped around, basked in moonlight, bumped into piles of snow, rolled around and crawled on all fours. Stories about wolves playing under the moon came to mind, but these were clearly not wolves. They stood up upright at times, circled around holding hands and whipping up snow, disappearing into the shadows for a brief moment then coming back. Okay, so they're furries. There's furries in my garden. Look, I don't know if this is normal. It could be a Russian thing. I don't know. This is supposed to happen in Russia. Maybe this is a regular thing there. Something bizarre was going on. Yeah, man, you have biped animals dancing in your fucking garden. I would think something bizarre was going on too. You have furries outside. Shadows dancing in the starless abyss made my imagination go wild, making me anxious at the same time. I don't like this game anymore. Suddenly the music had stopped. The dancing shadows froze in place and I could swear pierced me with their eyes. Yeah, I think they're looking at you, I don't know. One of the silhouettes immediately parted from the bizarre shadow carnival and sprinted across the field with giant leaps. I don't like this game anymore! It glided on the squeaky snow without leaving any prints until it was devoured by the pitch black shadow of my house, which became even darker and thicker. My heart was jumping around like the bird inside of a cage. I don't like this game anymore. I'm a scaredy cat, I'm sorry. I shut the curtains with a swift motion and stepped back towards the bed. Yeah, they saw me. Yeah, no shit. A freezing torrent of fear washed over me. I stood in the middle of a perfectly dark room and listened to some unwanted guests move and scrape around looking for an entrance. Fuck me, man. This sound moved to the right, then circled around the house. Now my guest should be at the front door. I jumped into the bed and covered myself with a blanket as if it could protect me. You're a kid, it can. It's magic. It's the magic blanket. The shackles of fear locked my muscles. I remember the funeral, my grandma lying there, hands crossed on her chest, her facial features sharp like that of a tin doll. Ants running up and down the legs of chairs that held my grandma's casket. I imagined those little creatures climbing up her head and pulling her eyelids with their tiny legs. Then her wrinkly eyeballs would once again move inside of their sockets and she'd be able to see her grandchildren. What the fuck? I was chanting the spell she taught me throughout the whole procedure. Now, lying under the blanket and listening to squeaks and howls, I was repeating the same words.
На острове Буяне, в синем океане, стоит домовина, в ней сало и глина, волосы седые, чертям еда, раба Божьего Антона не тронут никогда.
On the island of Buyan, underneath the blemished sun, in the sea of color blue, stands a cabin made of wood. There lay lard and ashen hair, for the spawn from devil's lair, to feast and always live alone, God's faithful servant named Anton. Oh shit.
Забудут дорогу к дому.
Evil leave this house must.
Мертвый к мертвому.
Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. What the fuck is going on? Bizarre sounds had disappeared. I cautiously peeked out from under the blanket and saw curtains waving around like a hanged man. And then the night doused me with a new portion of boiling terror. This sound scratched at my eardrums. What the fuck? It's inside my house! In reality, something or someone were scratching at the front door, hurriedly clawing at wood, demanding to be let in. No, no. The door was shut. Dad had become very cautious recently, so he installed a sturdy lock, thank fucking God. I remember him staring at the forest intently as if he was looking for someone.
Мертвое к мертвому.
Ashes to ashes,
Живое к
dust
живому.
to dust. I hugged my knees, placing my chin between them and drilled the door with my eyes. It was so flimsy and weak before the might of darkness. And then... I hate this fucking game. The doorknob twitched slightly. Then it turned halfway once, twice, as if the person who tried to enter had no hands. The doorknob tilted once more and then started clicking violently. Oh shit. They're here. The furries have come to my house. My jaw cramped into feet. What? I can't concentrate! My jaw cramped from fear. My wet fingers clutched the blanket. The door creaked and opened. Oh god. The wind taunted me, moaning inside the tin drains. Now you'll see. The door was wide open. Is that an eye? Oh no. The darkness writhed inside the carnivorous mouth of a doorway. Tosha. What the fuck is Tosha? It was as if the night itself was calling out to me, flapping its black wings and squeaking with rusty hinges. I was trembling, ensnared by the web of darkness that hung from corners of my room, waiting for the one who whipped it to come out of the gaping black hole. What the fuck? Tony? My abdomen tightened and my chest rose up, ready to exhale a desperate scream. But before I was able to do anything, the darkness asked me,
Ты спишь, Тоша?
Tosha, you asleep? Oh my god, it was you? My sister's pale face protruded from the thick shadows. Oh my god, Olga, I'm gonna kill you. I almost screamed from relief.
Оля, я не сплю. Что случилось?
Olga, I'm not sleeping. Did something happen? Olga frowned and stuck out her lower lip, a clear sign she was about to cry. Me too, Olga, me too.
Оно опять прилетело и пялится на меня.
It's there again, staring at me.
Прогони ее, Тоша. Прогони, пожалуйста.
Shoo her away, Tosha, please.
Я так боюсь.
I'm so scared. Oh, poor girl. The fear that was tormenting me just a minute ago crawled away and hid somewhere in my stomach. I needed to calm Olga down.
Это был сон, глупая. Не пугайся.
Oh,
Сны
yeah,
не
right,
кусаются.
voice actors.
Никто тебя не обидит.
It was just a dream, silly. Don't be scared. Dreams don't bite. No one is going to harm you. Oh, she's trembling. Poor thing. Olga sobbed. She was trying her best to believe me, but was I sure
У
myself?
меня есть идея.
I have an idea.
Пойдем к тебе в комнату, видик посмотрим. Спящую красавицу, например.
Let's go to your room and watch the video Sleeping Beauty, for example. Okay,
Тебе
good.
же нравится этот мультик?
You like that cartoon, don't you?
Почему у спящей красавицы принца у меня эта страшная птица?
Why does the Sleeping Beauty have a prince and I have this scary bird? I mean, fair. The question took me by surprise.
Ладно, давай посмотрим Золушку.
Alright, let's watch Cinderella. My thoughts became tangled, fuzzy. What was that? What started me with its eyes while dancing feverishly under the moon? The darkness was clinging to the window and it couldn't be fooled by Grandma's old shams. I couldn't be satisfied with a feast of lard and long ashen hair.
Тоша, ты идешь?
Tosha, you coming?
Да, сейчас.
Yes, just a moment. ¡Qué puto susto! Oh, mi corazón. Oh, te ha venido hasta mi perro. Hi, baby. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh. Oh, he came to say that everything is okay, right? Oh, ha venido a consolarme. Thank you, baby. You're a good dog. Okay. Oh god, it got me good. That's why I didn't want to laugh at Olga and her owl in the morning. Yeah, okay. Who could be visiting us here in the middle of nowhere? We don't know anyone around here. Oh god, this is a fucking dog, is it? So persistent. I felt extremely unsettled just from a silly thought that our morning guest could have come from the woods. I could barely hear voices coming from the front door. My mind was urging me to hide. In the closet, under the table, behind the curtains where Olga always hides. I felt like kettlebells were tied to my feet, but still dragged them towards the hallway. A couple of policemen towered over me in the doorway. I'm gonna get arrested. They smelled like frost and worry. And they're policemen, probably cigarettes too. My mom always wins and grumbled the moment she saw patrol cars. Worse than bandits. At that moment though, she looked somewhat confused.
Здравствуйте.
Hello. The senior officer, who wore a grim expression, nodded.
Тут мальчик вчера потерялся. Вовой зовут.
A boy had gone missing yesterday. His name was Bova.
Глянь, пожалуйста. Ты его не видел?
Look at this, please. Have you seen him? The policeman held out a photograph to me. Ooh. Oh, they have a cat! Oh, that's so sad. There was a ginger boy around the age of elementary school, pictured with a wall carpet as the backdrop. He had a striped cat in his hands and wore a wide smile.
Нет.
No, I haven't. I mean, if we haven't met anyone here, you clearly haven't.
Точно? Посмотри внимательнее.
Are you sure? Look closely.
Где мне его видеть? Я тут никого не знаю, да и из дома-то почти не выхожу.
Where would I live in? I don't know anyone around here. I barely leave the house. Fair, but I wouldn't answer a policeman that way.
Может, видел в окно?
Well, maybe you've seen him from the window?
Да, у тебя ведь окна на лес.
That's right, your windows look straight into the forest, don't they? The window.
Нет, не видел.
No, I haven't seen anything.
Ясно.
I've seen too much. I see. He sounded tired, but his eyes, his stare, long and heavy, was full of suspicion. I'm a kid! What? I squirmed unwittingly under the weight of guilt, which his giant shadow cast over me. The policeman finally tore his eyes from me and glanced over the hallway, the stairway, and the cracks in the ceiling, which I haven't noticed before for some reason.
Вы, кстати, как на новом месте? Попривыкли уже?
How do you like your new place, by the way? Getting used to it?
Понемногу. Только вот дочка маленькая по городу скучает.
Bit by bit. It's just our little daughter misses the city a lot.
Скучает, значит. Из местных вас никто не беспокоит?
Misses the city, huh? Have the locals been treating you well?
Все хорошо, спасибо.
Yes, everything alright, thank you. Get out of my fucking house. The policeman pierced through me one more time with his brown eyes. My head started spinning.
Может, вам помочь как-то?
Can I help you somehow? I asked that in a shaky voice to look like a polite boy and to end this unpleasant conversation sooner.
Я вот стою и думаю,
Now that I think about
ты,
it,
малец, на племеша моего похож.
you look just like one of my nephews, little fella.
Шустрый парнишка твоих лет. С
He's
такими
a-
же окулярами.
Oh,
Все
sorry.
книжками зачитывался. Детективами.
He's a witty boy around your age, wears the same type of goggles, haha. Fuck you. Always engrossed in reading those mystery novels.
Когда летом погостить приезжал, говорит,
Told
что
me.
в школу милиции мечтает поступить.
Excuse me. Told me he wants to enroll in police school when his family visited this summer.
Как я. Хотел людям помогать. Смекаешь?
Wanted to help other people just like me, see? I felt uncomfortable, as if a distant relative and not a police officer stood before me.
Ох, ребятушки,
You know what?
сидите-ка вы лучше дома. Не ввязывайтесь ни во что. Жизнь сейчас совсем другая пошла.
Little boys like you should stay at home. Steer away from trouble. The times have changed so much. I mean, to be fair, you're right, but I am petty and I don't like you, so don't tell me what to do. My mom interjected in a cool voice.
Мне ли не знать?
You don't say.
Ну да ладно.
Ah, well then.
Ты, Антон, в каком классе учишься?
What grade are you in, Anton?
В 6-м.
Sixth?
Друзей-то на новом месте еще не завел?
Have you made any friends here so far?
Пока нет. Я только после каникул в школу пойду.
Not yet. I'll be going to school for the first time after the break. Okay.
Тогда вот вам на всякий случай мой номер. Звоните, если узнаете что.
Ah, then I'll leave you my number, just in case. Call me if you have any new info. The policemen were gone along with their shadows, the smell of cheap cologne and the photo of a smiling boy. His face still stood before my eyes. I wondered what it was like for him being all alone there. For some reason, I thought of the forest swaying in the wind. What did his poor parents feel? And what would my parents do if I'd gone missing? Would they cry and fuss around hysterically? Or would they accuse each other like they always do and forget about me eventually? No, they wouldn't.
Мам, а Вова этот в нашем лесу заблудился?
Mom, this Boba. Boba. Did he go missing in our forest?
Выходит, что так. Бедный ребенок.
Seems like it. Poor child. I looked out the window at the road. The police UAC? What is that? Glossary! A Soviet and Russian off-road freight passenger car brand which was produced on the Ulganovsk factory. Okay, so a type of car. The officer's nephew came to mind when I was splitting off all pain from the windowsill. Stop doing that. I remember all the teenage mystery novels from the Black Kitty series I've read this summer. Okay, glossary, what is Black Kitty? A series of contemporary Russian original or translated TV mystery books. Okay. Your average boys and girls investigated all sorts of mysteries there. So they're like your own little Scooby-Doo series, I assume. They look for clues, bite on suspicious people, and after a set of amazing adventures, bam! Solve any complicated case. They became local celebrities and must make their parents very proud. I noticed a trail of policemen's footprints that led to the forest. And then it clicked in my head. Why don't I start an investigation of my own? Oh, this is gonna end terribly. Maybe I'll find that lost boy. Yeah, because that's a great idea. Let's go as a small child, look after another child that went missing. Yeah, what could go wrong? And I'll get a reward. Olga will be so happy. And not only Olga, mom and dad too. Maybe they'll even forget about their quarrels for a while. Maybe I'll even save us from the D word. I fantasized about buying Olga a Tamagotchi, getting a cassette player, and a bunch of tapes for myself. And a whole box of Kinder Surprise. Oh, those are good. When was the last time our parents bought us any toys? Last autumn, I think. My dad has lost his job at the time. There was that annoying song about it. What song? A song by an all-female Soviet pop band by the name of Combination that became wildly popular in the early 90s. Okay. I had little to no idea what was the accountant's job like. They count money, I think? Yeah, kind of. Neighbors used to envy us. But nowadays mom and dad barely had money to afford sweets, and dad would always divide a single chocolate bar between me and Olga. Sometimes I gave her my share too. Aww. No matter how much I wanted to eat sweets, she was still just a pipsqueak. Jesus fucking Christ, they never do this. Do they wait? Do they know when I'm going to film? I couldn't wait to go out looking for clues.
Пойду погуляю.
I'm going outside.
Ага, щас.
Yeah, right. Like, your mother just found out about a missing boy. You think she's gonna let you go outside?
Чтобы потом милиционеры с твоей фотографией по домам ходили.
You want the police to go around with your photograph next?
Лес вон какой густой.
The forest is so thick.
А если мальчика звери дикие утащили? Или того хуже?
She's right, I can't argue with her. What if the boys got snatched up by wild animals? Or something even worse? Even worse echoes through the hallway.
Да я рядом буду. В лес не пойду.
I won't go far, I'll stay away from the forest.
Что я тебе сказала? Мне дважды повторять.
Did you hear what I said, or should I repeat myself?
Лучше портфель собери или соли поиграй.
Better go pack your school bag or play with Olga. For the sake of the story, I'm not gonna do either of those things. But if I was a kid, I would listen to my mom. It meant that the argument was over and mom had the last word. I didn't read the previous one, sorry. Come on.
Антон,
Anton,
сейчас 3 дня получишь.
I'll whip you if you take... I'll whip you if you make a single step out the door. Shit. Okay. Kitchen? Can I get something to eat? Oh. Grandma kept ice cream for me and Olga there, but now I could only see meat bits for soup and clump together pelmeni? What's pelmeni? Glossary. A Russian variety of dumplings made by boiling thin, unleavened dough filled with mincemeat. Ones may even call it Russian fast food. Oh, okay, dumplings. I grew to hate them already. That seems like it's yummy. You have no taste. I'm gonna see my options. What is this? The dark, stuffy closet. Mom says it smells like mice, but how will she know their smell? She hates when I stick my nose in there. She's afraid I'll cut myself on the freshly sharpened axe. I'm not gonna put my head against the axe, I promise, Mom. And Olga can't even be lured close to it. She thinks Baba is living there. I tried to help her fight her fears once, opened the door and turned on a dim lamp so she would see that there was nothing but cobwebs, dad stools, and scratch walls. She still didn't believe me. No, if she's convinced there's a monster there, she's not gonna believe that there's no monster. She just thinks, oh, you turned on the light, that's why the monster isn't there. Big brother brain, come on. And I like to hide in the closet and listen to Olga count outside. 1, 2, 3, better hide from me. And then drag her feet on the creaking floorboards, hoping that she wouldn't need to look for me in the cramped monster stand. You know she wouldn't look there. Okay, so it seems like I have to lie to Mom.
А?
Oh,
Мам, там что-то с телевизором случилось.
Mom, there's something wrong with the TV.
Картинка какая-то тусклая, и экран весь в полосах.
The picture is dim and there's are stripes all over the screen. Mom's face became visibly distorted. Oh
Без
no.
ножа меня режешь. Дострелялся в уток своих.
You're killing me here. So have you had enough of shooting those stupid ducks now?
Говорила же, посадите мне кинескоп своей приставкой.
I told you the kinscope will go dim because of your console.
Где мы теперь мастера найдем в дыре этой, а?
Where will we find a TV technician in this hole, huh?
Может быть, просто настройки сбились?
Maybe it's just the settings.
Сходи, посмотри, пожалуйста.
Please go see for yourself.
Нормально же работал с утра.
Strange, it worked fine this morning.
Из-за снегопада, наверное, неполадки.
Maybe the snowfall caused it? Oh yeah. Maybe the snowball that I dumped at the TV is what broke the TV. Mom rubbed her hands clean on her apron and went to Olga's room. Okay. I'm a piece of shit, let's go! I opened the front gate and went into the field. Carefully, so Mom wouldn't see me from the window. When I crossed half of the distance toward the forest, the snow pile became as high as my knees. I remember my nightly fears. I saw those silhouettes around here. They were jumping around holding hands. That hypnotizing music started playing in my head all on its own. In the light of day, those distant figures felt like a simple dream. So, no common sense from this guy, apparently? The sun turned my nightmares to ash, but the aftertaste was still there. Distant ringing in my ears, distorted shadows crawling on the snow alongside me. I'm gonna get a whooping from my mom. I'm gonna get my ass whooped. And a barely audible whisper in my head, blurry and almost kind. Everything was silent. So silent, I felt like the world was totally empty. No sky, no ground, no sky, no parents, no Olga. The time reached its limits. A one-way trip that ended at the forest's spiny stockade. If the forest is silent, it's not a good sign, but I hear birds, so it's not fully silent. Sometimes silence was much scarier than any scream. Our parents would scream at each other while arguing, and both me and Olga turned to stone, listening to them. But then always came the ring in silence. Our apartment became numb a couple of days before we departed. It was hard to remember the last time Mom and Dad joked around, laughing, or spent time together. Almost like all of it was in a previous life. When they kissed with Olga present, she always frowned and snorted in a funny way. But one day it all changed. Something important had left our home, and something scary filled the remaining void. It was as if a fire broke out, and our parents were hurriedly packing our belongings, trying to save themselves and us. From who, though? From the people with dead cold eyes who sometimes visited us in our previous home? The eyes that only saw balls of worms on the black ground in everything? And somewhere far away, a siren was going off, trying to warn us of the coming menace. I love that the hat just says sport. I started chasing away my delusions and looked around. There were only me, this white field, and the wind that was whipping up icy dust and belts of powdered snow. I squinted from the sun and turned my eyes to the sunless forest. It looked especially dark in contrast with the blinding whiteness. Knobby tree roots slithered under the snow like fat snakes. Rotten leaves and coniferous needles froze into the ice. Oh no, there is a glove! Oh no. I'm gonna go grab it. Can I grab it? Dry prickly branches intertwined, bringing up uncomfortable thoughts about fences. Were they protecting the forest? Or were they keeping something from breaking out? Or hear me out, they're just trees and branches from plants in a forest. Makes sense to me. Some object was hanging from one of the pointy branches. Oh no. I tried to get closer, drowning in snow, and then I almost got to the edge of the forest. I saw a knitted mitten. It looked like a wounded bird among the hungering semi-dark. Should I take it to the police? Their senior officer looked gloomy, but he still reminded me of Captain Casanova from my favorite TV show called The Streets of Broken Lights. Glossary! A Russian mystery TV series telling the story of the daily life of a Russian police officer. Well, Russian police officers. It's the longest running series in the history of Russian TV at the moment. Ah, it's a popular show. He was also always anxious, with a tired look in his eyes, but brave and strong. Will this meeting help him find the lost boy? Oh, I am a dumb child and I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna grab it. I heard a distant shout. It looked like it came from the river. There's a river? Boba. Oh no. As if the trees were calling out to someone. Boba resounded closer to me. Yeah, great idea. Let's just go in. You know what? Yeah. Someone was standing there behind the trees, hiding. Boba. Oh fuck. I knew someone was looking out for the lost boy, but still, something was unsettling about that figure. What figure? Its stillness, how it was bent unnaturally towards the ground. What figure? Its blackness. There's no one there, just branches and roots. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's all just my imagination. A nearby bird flapped its wings loudly. Oh! Oh! There was something. Fuck! A shadow split from the tree and disappeared from my sight. I looked away for just a moment, but then I turned my gaze back to the same place. It was gone. So it was my imagination after all? No! Silence reigned for a painfully long time. I am not smart. I'm checking most of the time because I don't know if my camera is still filming. My muscles were tightly sprung, my heart was beating somewhere in my throat. I hate this game. Any noise, any little movement, any small whisper from the thicket and I'd sprint. Go back home! But nothing of the sort happened. I'm gonna grab it, aren't I? I looked at the mitten once more. I'm already here. I'ma risk it. I decided to take the lonely mitten from the branch. Oh god. Boba! Oh no! A shout rumbled across the field and dissolved into the distance. No echo, no hope for a reply. Oh, I missed it. It didn't budge. I pulled harder. Okay, I was trying to grab it. The branch cracked and the mitten tore off, landing in my hand with a squish sound. All too heavy, wet. I squeezed it without thinking and something dark spilled from it, forming a tiny stream between the mitten and the snow. Steam rose from the snowball. Is it bloody? No! I froze in place, starting with palms with disgust. Red. The sound of cracking branches invaded the silence. Go home! I didn't have to think twice before running away, thank God. Someone was chasing me from the darkness, breaking pine branches, closing the distance with giant leaps. Oh God. Snow was slowing me down. Crazy thoughts flew through my mind. I'll get caught. They'll get me. I'll get dragged into the thicket. I'll be gone forever. Oh God. But there was one more voice, probably one of reason. It gave me strength, spurred me on. You can do it. Don't stop. I heard an animal roar behind me. It was so loud my ears went numb. It felt like the sound had come from a pack of hungry beasts rather than a single one. The furries came for me. Their nostrils sucked in the freezing air. They sensed my fear. Two giant wings flapped above my head. The owl? An enormous shadow flew over the clearing. A hoot, a whiz. The roars were coming from all directions now. From the dried up raspberry bush, from the twisted pines, from under the windfall. Go home. Hurry up, don't look back. What the fuck is going on? It felt like I was inside a nightmare. The snowy clearing became vicious like quicksand. I was stuck in place. I pulled my leg from the mushy trap just to get caught in a new one, even deeper than before. Oh god. I continued to drown, sinking deeper and deeper with every desperate push. Was snow ever this sticky? I screamed in horror after realizing this wasn't snow. Someone or something in the snowpile was clutching my pants? Oh my god. I gathered all my strength and rushed forward. The pressure on my leg was gone, my boots slipped out of the hole and my soles were on a hard surface again. I reached a clear path with one jump and from there ran to my house. Go. Its gloomy facade didn't look so threatening now. That house was my line of defense from the shadows that flapped their wings and the creatures that were hidden under the snow. I tripped over the doorstep and smashed into the door. Oh! In all my hurry, I still managed to notice the claw marks. As if a dog was striking the wood with its paws, demanding to be let in so it could escape the cold. I hadn't noticed these marks when I was leaving. The heartbeat in my ears was so much louder than my surroundings. I couldn't hear whether someone was following me or not. What if they were already in the front yard and Mom had locked the door? Drowning in fear, I pulled on the doorknob and it obediently gave way. Oh, thank God! Lock the fucking door. I rolled onto the hallway and shut the door behind me. Porch blanks creaked as my pursuers ascended the stairs. My fingers slipped off the lock and I couldn't click it into place. I gritted my tears and pulled hard on the iron knob, whipping it between the boards. Oh, thank God. I stared blankly at the door. Oh, my heart! Someone was standing on the other side of the pitiful, flimsy barrier that was probably less useful than blankets. Wheezing breath reached into the house and crashed at me in waves. It smelled of pine and sweat. Mom picked out of the kitchen and chastised me with the same frigid voice she always used when talking to Dad. Oh God, I cannot read, I'm sorry. What exactly didn't you understand when I told you to never slam the door?
Я случайно.
I didn't mean to. I snuck a glance at the door, the smell was gone, the breath was too. If there was someone in the first place, of course. Here, mere 5 meters away from my mom, my fear was slowly weakening, melting like snow in spring, and with it, the last bit of strength I had left my body too. My legs gave way, I propped myself up against the wall so I wouldn't fall over. Oh. Mom's expression had changed immediately. The cold mass of strictness and detachment was gone. Mom looked the same as before all those squirrels. She finally saw my condition, my wet pants plastered with snow.
Ты где
Did you
был?
pee yourself?
Я тебе что говорила, а? Чтобы ты дома сидел.
Where have you been? What did I tell you, huh? I told you to stay home.
Я и для тебя пустое место.
Am I nothing to you too? Oh no, that's so sad. I got afraid she would cry. I reached out to her like when I was very little and wanted her to cuddle me. But Mom regained her composure fast and put on her usual face. Her eyes shined like steel, her voice rang out.
У отца сигареты пропали.
Your dad can find his cigarettes.
Признавайся, ты их стащил? Курить бегаешь?
Be honest, did you snatch them? Were you smoking in secret? No!
Там за мной кто-то гнался. Я думал, меня...
There was someone chasing me. I thought... I stuttered as soon as I started explaining myself. Don't worry, I've been stuttering and speaking like shit this whole gameplay. Tears welled up in my eyes. Mom leaned in towards me and sniffed my clothes like a beast, searching for the smell of tobacco. I don't smoke! Then she squinted her eyes in suspicion and looked into the front yard. Oh! Her expression changed in an instant and she covered her mouth with her hand.
Гляди, вон же они. Прямо у забора.
Look over there at the fence. My heart started thumping as if I became prey once again and my pursuers were following me in the field. Oh God, what is it? I could swear that I've heard something scratch at the door just like in my nightmare. Mom beckoned me with her finger and I gathered all my remaining bravery to look into the kitchen window facing my fear. I could barely discern some hairy silhouettes swimming in the snow through the icy winter patterns on the glass. Oh, they're dogs! Dogs! Just a small pack of strays with no name and owner, barely reminding of the hungry monsters that live on the edge of the forest.
Божечки, ты их испугался?
Oh
Да
boy,
они
were you
сами
scared
тебя
of them?
перепугаются, Антон.
I think they'd rather be scared of you, Anton. I don't know why you're laughing, those are big dogs. They could perfectly maul a kid if they wanted to.
Они гнались за мной, словно за зайцем.
Battery went out. Where were we? They were chasing me, like a bunny.
А вдруг они бешеные?
And what if they were rabbit? That is a very fair assumption. You don't know what they have. The smile had slowly disappeared from Mom's face. Now she looked at the dogs as if it was her first time seeing them.
Что если они нападут на Олю?
What if they attack Olga?
Мам,
Mom,
Вот бы твой отец их всех перестрелял.
I wish your dad could just shoot them all. Oh, no, I mean, it's not their fault, poor things.
мама, они живые.
The kid is right, like, Mom, look, they're alive.
А что?
What?
Ты уж определись? Они тебе друзья или враги?
Are they your friend or foe after all? Make up your mind. You can complain that they shouldn't be there, but at the same time, you can't just kill them. Poor things.
Не маленький ведь уже.
You're not a little kid anymore. Mom sighed in annoyance, and I felt so bitter that I bit my lower lip on the cobweb-ridden corner just to keep myself from crying. Well, some detective I am. In reality, I wasn't risking my life amongst monsters, but rather my pants among a pack of stupid strays. And what for? What use do I have for this? Mitten. Of course! A dark and sticky mitten! Yes! Great! A dark and sticky mitten that belonged to the lost boy made a squishy sound in my hand. Seems like I was clutching it the whole time. That's my trump card as a detective. I hurried to present this clue to my mom.
Мам, смотри, это Вовина варежка.
Mom, look, this is Boba's mitten.
Ну того, про которого утром милиция спрашивала.
That boy the police were asking about in the morning.
Она вся в крови, на дереве висела. Вон там, могу показать.
It's drenched in blood. I found it hanging on a tree. I can show where.
Давай в
God.
милицию скорее позвоним, как нас участковый просил.
Let's call the police right away like the officer had told us to.
Мам, гляди!
Mom, look!
Фу!
Ugh. A shadow of doubt slowly crept into Mom's contorted face, as if she was trying to remember something distant, like someone who tries to remember their dream, but the images slip away.
А ну-ка прекрати сейчас же.
Stop at this moment.
Оля тебя услышит, с ума сойдет.
Olga will go insane if she hears you.
Она и так не спит. На все подряд жалуется.
She already has trouble sleeping and whines all the time.
Еще и ты со своими шуточками.
And you joke around a time like this? At that moment I realized the mitten was actually wet from snow. There was no blood whatsoever. Is the forest making me like imagine things? Because that's crazy. Oh shit. I wanted to sink through the floor from embarrassment.
Иди сюда, паникер.
Come here, my boy who cried wolf.
Да не стой столбом. Вот, таблетку на. Быстро пей.
Oh, don't just stand there, come take your pills. Pills? A golden coral pill reminiscent of a dead wasp fell onto my hand.
Я уже пил сегодня, за завтраком.
I already took one during breakfast.
Попререкайся мне еще.
Don't talk over me, okay?
Сказала дома сидеть. Нет же.
I told you to stay home and you...
Был бы отец, выпорол.
Dad would have given you a good whipping for that.
Сейчас же выпей, а то ночью не уснешь. Тебе ведь в школу завтра.
Come on, take it or you won't be able to sleep at night, and you have school tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow already. So I had to swallow the bitter medication, drinking it down with similarly awful water that gave off a taste of chlorine. Maybe it wasn't Boba's mitten. Maybe it wasn't a mitten at all. Just like the forest monsters. And Olga's owl. Am I going mad? What's happening to me? What the fuck did I take? Either the pill had an immediate effect or my overexcited brain didn't let fear inside me anymore. Serenity washed over me, bringing yawny indifference along with it. Are these like medication for anxiety?
Антон, выпил? Можешь, если захочешь.
Anton, you done? See, you can do it when you try.
Раздевайся. Уснул, что ли?
Take off your coat, are you asleep?
Нет, мам, просто задумался.
No, Mom, I was just thinking.
Интересно, о чем же?
What about, I wonder? Mom!
Так, глупости всякие.
It's just something silly. Mom scrutinized me with suspicious eyes, as if she wasn't sure she was looking at her own son and not some doppelganger that came out of the forest.
Точно все нормально?
Is everything alright? No! No, it's
У тебя
not.
такое лицо было, когда милиционер про окно спросил.
You had the same exact expression when the policeman asked you about the window.
Все нормально, мам.
I'm alright, Mom. She heaved a deep sigh.
Хорошо.
Fine. It seems like the house had changed. The sofa fabric had become discolored. Fingerprints appeared on the bathroom tiles. The light bulbs also felt different, dimmer and yellower. Even the saliva inside my mouth had a different taste. Ugh. A melody from Aladdin could be heard from the upper floor. Olga was done rewatching her favorite Little Mermaid episodes and switched to other tapes. I slowly changed into my home clothes, stopped before the sink, and studied my reflection in the mirror, like I was trying to solve one of those spot the difference puzzles. Then I went upstairs. Jafar's and Iago's voices died down. I walked past Olga's bedroom and slipped into my own. Oh. The forest didn't look as grim during the day. Entangled tree branches in the distance and the snowy field between our house and the forest brought sleepiness to my eyes. Oh god, I cannot read, can I? But sometimes I would still catch myself looking in the window at the icy treetops. Oh my god. Instead of doing my homework. I can read, I promise. My Triceratops figurine. I know about all sorts of dinosaurs, velociraptors, afrobenators, Hysilophodonts. I remember going to the movies to see Jurassic Park when we still lived in the city and taking pictures with the T-Rex in the hall. It turned its head and whirred. It was awesome. And next to it was a Robotech Transformer. Holy shit. I love this cartoon. When a jet fighter speeds up in the intro amongst the sounds of blaster fire, you know your next 20 minutes will surely be amazing. Centrady Space Station is captured. Rick, get ready for battle. I've dreamt of becoming an artist since Dad bought me my first comic book. A glossary! The first Soviet and Russian periodic adult comics magazine. Extremely popular during the crazy 90s. So we are in the 90s, I assume. What made the magazine stand out was the refusal to use material from its foreign counterparts. Fly magazine was the coolest. I especially liked the big space-related edition with alien monsters and that funny episode about a gendarme? I don't know what that is. I started drawing all kinds of stuff since that day and I seem to be getting pretty good at it. Yeah, I believe that. One of my letters even got published in Fly once. Maybe someday they'll even publish my comic? Nice, nice kid, good job. How strange, I remember moving this cartoon. Oh my god, I just noticed there's someone behind the curtain. Fuck, I'm gonna ignore it. One of the drawers was empty, I hid the mitten there. My nose is itchy. This simple action drained the last bit of strength from me. I sat on the bed. And only then I noticed there was someone behind the curtains. Yeah, I hadn't noticed before, don't worry. My tired hand dropped to the sheets. Oh god. It's my sister. It has to be, right? She's wearing, like, slippers. She has to be my sister. She has to be. Whether it was due to medication I took, the stress I underwent, the room began to contort as if the wind was blowing the walls out like a pair of sails. Oh, I'm gonna have a panic attack, aren't I? The corners of the room bent and undulated. The only stable thing in the whole room was the figure between the windows and curtains. A flimsy piece of cloth was stuck to my hidden visitor. It reminded me of burial sheets.
Оля,
Olga? Who else would be standing there? That's what I'm saying. It has to be her. I stood up and licked my dry up lips.
Оля, очень смешно.
Yeah, Olga, it's so funny. The silhouette was unmoving. It was enveloped softly by the curtains, as if there was a thick layer of darkness there, not a human being. I reached toward the curtains. Badoom, badoom. Beat my heart, controlled by medication. The wind sang in the fields with a chorus of voices. For a second I wanted to return to the bed, just lie down and watch the person behind the curtain, knowing full well they were looking back at me. They're looking without blinking, waiting for me to fall asleep. Plastic ring rustled against the holder when I pulled open the curtains.
Попался!
Oh god. Gotcha! Oh my god, it's Olga. Thank
Да я
god.
сразу понял, что это ты.
I knew it was you from the beginning. Yeah. Yeah, totally. A blindingly bright halo lit up above Olga's head with the setting sun as the background. My sister was shining. Oh, she's very cute. When she was just a baby, Dad always used to say she was shining with happiness. I always retorted, but Dad, she's not some flashlight. But I brought her to the window one day and sunlight poured on her smiling face. I felt like I was holding a light woven child.
А я все Я видела.
I saw everything.
Да ну,
Oh, really?
Что ты спрятал?
What did you hide? She was just like my mom when she was little. Before she put on her sad mask of tiredness and switched to her commanding tone of voice.
ничего, просто...
It's nothing, just... Olga ran to the table, her eyes round and asked,
Ты что-то украл и теперь прячешь?
You stole something and hid it there?
Ты вор?
Are you a thief? I'm not.
Что? Глупая.
What? Don't be stupid.
Ничего я не крал.
I didn't steal anything. A clear image came to mind, that mitten hanging from a tree branch. What if I did steal it after all? From the forest, from the tilted figurine, standing behind black trees. Olga could be selfish and stubborn when she wanted.
Покажи тогда.
Then show me.
Поклянись, что никому не скажешь. Тогда покажу.
Swear that you won't tell anyone and then I'll show you. Olga wore a floating smile.
Клянусь маминым сердцem.
I swear on Mom's heart, an oath she heard on one of the movies about the pioneers we've watched. Glossary! Pioneer movement, an umbrella term for a communist children organization existing around the world, somewhat reminiscent of the Scout movement. Okay. I totally understand what that is. Yeah!
Не говори так.
Don't say things like that. Olga nodded and made a gesture with her hand, locking her mouth with an imaginary key. She was filled with curiosity that was splashing her giant eyes. I opened the drawer and Olga leaned in, holding her breath. It looked like there was not just a simple mitten, but some sort of exotic critter.
Это чья-то варежка?
Is this someone's mitten? She said that as if she couldn't understand what she saw. I wouldn't
Один
be able
мальчик
to understand it
потерял.
either. Why are you showing me a
сам
fucking
потерялся.
mitten? A certain boy lost it and got lost himself.
Теперь понимаешь, как опасно гулять в лесу, особенно детям.
Now you do understand how dangerous it is for kids to wander off into the forest, right?
Ему, наверное, там очень холодно.
He must be really cold out there.
Его найдут?
Will they find him?
Обязательно.
They will.
Участковый по домам ходит, всем фотографию его показывает.
The police are going house to house showing his photo to everybody. Olga traversed the room with care and pressed her tiny palms against the window.
А почему он по домам ходит, а не по лесу?
And why are they going to the houses and not to the forest?
Боится?
Are they scared? The question caught me off guard.
Милиционеры ничего не боятся.
The police aren't scared of anything.
И лес они прочесали.
They've already scouted the forest. Yeah, right, flashed in my clouded mind. Did they really check every nook and cranny where darkness, cold, and whispers of icy branches dwell? If that's the case, how did they miss the mitten? Or did it appear later for me? I changed the topic, as if trying to get Olga as far away as possible from the forest thicket.
Если я сам найду пропавшего мальчика, нам, может, награду дадут.
We may get a reward if I go find this boy by myself.
Кучу всякого, как в поле чудес.
A lot of stuff like the Wheel of Fortune. Glossary? For what? Field of Wonders, a Soviet and Russian TV game show, still running to this day, coming out every Friday, can be described as a partially adapted version of Wheel of Fortune.
Клево же.
Sounds cool, right? Olga wasn't listening to me. She was piercing the forest with incredibly adult eyes, uncharacteristic for her.
А что, если эта сова его утащила?
What if they all got him?
Ерунда.
Nonsense.
Не может сова поднять человека.
I know won't be able to lift a human.
Ну вот что...
But you know what? I was speaking my words with utmost care. I forced them out of my overexerted brain.
Ты в лес не суйся. Мне кажется, он какой-то...
Stay away from the forest, I think
Как
it's...
бы сказать... Проклятый, что ли?
How should I put it? It's cursed or something.
Как в сказке?
Like a fairy tale?
Нет, скорее, как на той страшной кассете, что родители прячут.
No, more like in that spooky tape our parents hide from us. Olga shivered and stole a glance at the window.
Я видела, как ты убегал.
I saw you running away.
За тобой кто-то гнался?
Someone was chasing you?
Нет, просто, чтобы мама не волновалась, спешил домой.
No, it's just I was hurrying back home so Mom wouldn't be so worried. As I looked at my sister, my heart was tearing apart. She was so fragile, it was so easy to stifle her light. A gust of wind, and her small fire would be gone.
Хорошо тебе.
You're lucky.
Меня вот мама не пускает даже на крыльцо.
Mom wouldn't even let me go outside.
Как принцесса в башне сижу. Никуда не могу выйти.
I'm like a princess in the tower. Can't go anywhere.
Так и умру тут от скуки.
I'll die from boredom here.
Не придумывай.
You're wrong.
От скуки еще никто не умирал.
No one has ever died of boredom.
У тебя же есть я и мультики, а мама с папой скоро помирятся.
And you have me and your cartoons. And mom and dad will be good to each other soon.
Знаешь, что бы я загадала на следующий день рождения?
You know what I would wish for on my next birthday?
Чтобы родители тоже в детей превратились.
I'd wish
И
for
мы бы
mom
все
and dad. Oh,
вместе
sorry.
играли, как раньше.
I didn't want to interrupt, Olga. I wish for mom and dad to turn into children so we could go and play together like we used to.
Ага. А если бы они стали размером с жука, то мы бы их в спичечный коробок посадили.
Yeah, and if you'd make them as small as bugs, we could put them in a box. Olga giggled and tugged at my sleeve.
Тоша, пойдем Аладдина смотреть.
Tosha, let's go play Aladdin. Fatigue won over my desire to be with my little sister. I was washed over by some sort of heinous apathy.
Вымотался я. Что-то не хочется.
I'm too tired, I don't want to.
Ну пойдем.
Come on.
Мне скучно одной, а мама занята все время.
It's so boring alone, and mom is always busy.
Можно выбрать другой мультик, который ты еще не видел.
We can pick a cartoon you haven't seen before.
Да я все наши кассеты наизусть знаю.
I know all our tapes by heart at this point.
А вот и не все. Ты Питера Пэна не видел.
Not all of them, you haven't watched Peter Pan.
Помнишь, ты уснул на середине?
Remember how you fell asleep in the middle of it?
Там
Aww.
потом такое.
And
Ну
so much happens
пойдем.
after that. Let's go, let's go. Come on, go spend time with your sister, poor girl.
Давай попозже.
Maybe a bit later.
Рассказать тебе, чем все закончилось?
Should I tell you how it ends?
Утром расскажешь.
Let's leave that for tomorrow.
Утром не захочу.
I won't tell you tomorrow.
Придумала. А давай в прятки.
I know, let's play hide and seek.
Нет, Оль.
No, Olga.
Тогда нарисуй мне динозавра.
Then draw me a dino.
Оля, блин.
Olga, please.
Нарисуй, нарисуй.
Draw it, draw it.
Да оставь ты меня в покое!
Leave me alone already. Oh. I blurted out without thinking, and then I was immediately taken back. I'd never screamed at my little sisters like that. Olga stared at me in shock. Her lips started trembling, a precursor to tears. Oh, poor girl. My chest was seething with disgust and embarrassment. What was happening to me? I hurried to prevent Olga from crying.
Ладно, уболтала. Давай смотреть мультики.
Alright,
Только
you
недолго.
win. Let's go watch cartoons for a bit.
Уже не хочу.
I don't wanna. Oh. I came up to her. I put my hand on her soft head. Oh.
Пойдем.
Let's go.
Питера Пэна посмотрим.
Let's go watch Peter Pan.
Ага, ты опять уснешь.
Boo, you'll fall asleep again. I smiled and lifted her chin. Her eyes were wet and felt bottomless.
Не усну, обещаю.
I promise I won't.
А потом я тебе целого трицератопса нарисую.
And I'll draw you a full Triceratops later.
Ура!
Hooray! Oh.
Сыри попса!
Triceratops. I'm her reading this whole game. This whole time I've been speaking like this girl.
Ну, почти.
Well, close enough. Olga rubbed her eyes with the sleeve of her pajamas, and a shining smile returned to her face.
Давай ты пока кассету перемотаешь, а я у мамы попрошу сгущенки с хлебом.
I'll go ask mom for condensed milk and bread, and you rewind the tape.
Только утром свежий привезли, как ты любишь.
The bread is fresh, just how you like it.
Неси, только аккуратнее, а то разольешь.
Alright, just be careful to not spill the milk,
Опять ругаться будут.
or you'll be yelled at again.
Спорим, не разолью.
Wanna bet I won't spill it?
Кассета где-то в тумбочке. Поищи пока.
The tape is somewhere in the nightstand, look for it. Okay, let's go. Olga disappeared into the doorway, and I dragged my feet onto the neighboring room. Chip and Dale! I remember that show. Olga's countless toys. An old teddy bear is the main attraction here. Olga doesn't sleep without it. I sleep with a plushie too, to be honest. And she digs her nose into its fur when she sleeps. Me too. Me too, Olga. A piggy bank. Olga is saving money for a real puppy because Dad said that taking care of him will take a lot of money. The scary window where Olga sees that a cursed owl every night, lurking in the dark. Olga keeps curtains open during the day, but as soon as the twilight comes, she shuts them tight, so she wouldn't see the pair of hungry eyes outside. The old photon TV was gathering dust in the corner. All that was left was clicking the button on the front panel. Okay. The two warm up, and familiar white noise started dancing on the black screen. I almost reached out to turn the VCR when the noise calmed down and a blurry image appeared for a moment. It was a dark taiga forest, just like the one outside my window. The picture split the screen in half. Something creepy resembling human speech was coming out of the speaker. Just a few moments later, the scenery was again overshadowed by noise. Did I catch some rogue signal? Local TV station only really showed Soviet cartoons, and even that was pretty rare. And only just recently, I used to always watch Robotech before school. It was so awesome. Maybe I should tinker with the antenna? What if I catch this channel again? On the other hand, Olga had asked me to find the tape. It wouldn't be nice to disappoint her, but in my sleepy state, I didn't have the strength to do it all. I mean, I can explain why I'm making her wait. Like, I would be too curious. I would try. The picture finally cleared up. Oh. But the moment I rejoiced at finding that weird signal again, the TV started coughing. A voice barely coming through the cacophony. He was often seen at the moment when small snowy hills were lined up in the screen, pierced with rickety crosses, and a male voice was narrating with a slow, mournful voice. It was pitch black night at the cemetery.
Маленькая Сеня встретила свою судьбу в лице чудовищного обитателя дикой чащобы.
In that fearful dark time, little Senya met her fate at the face of a monstrous thicket dweller.
Местные называют его не иначе, как хозяин леса.
The locals call him none other than the forest master. I froze and I did my best not to move, as if by doing that I could scare away the narrator. I listened closely to his every word.
Зверь разобрался с беспомощной девочкой.
The beast dealt with the helpless girl in a masterful manner. The camera panned down the snow with something black spilled over it. What the hell is this? Looking for rag pieces of cloth that were thrown around all over the place. Did he eat her? I didn't want to think whether Senya's remains were wrapped in there, so I shut my eyes without thinking. The voice continued, maybe they are. Wolves are rare guests in these parts.
Вот что поведала нам баба Тамара, обитательница одного из местных склепов.
Here's what Tamara, the old woman that lives in a nearby crypt, had to say. A close-up shot of the face of an old homeless woman, weary from life and alcohol abuse, rattled on the screen.
Песня страшенная, хуже мертвеца отрытого.
Holy shit, Tamara, you good? Yes, such a fearsome beastie it is, worse than the rising dead. The old woman splattered saliva all over the rectangular mic. Shit. Oh.
И смердит шо, как...
The stink, it's like... The rest of her comparison was swallowed up by the sound of a horn.
Не припомню я такой
I've never
вони.
felt anything like that. Oh god.
Стояла эта тварюга там, где ты, милок, сейчас стоишь, и таращилась на меня прям посередь дня.
It was just standing there, yes, right where you stand, Boyle. And it pierced me with its eyes, right in the middle of day.
Здоровенно такая, глаза стеклянные.
It was so huge, that one, with glassy eyes. Obscenities were covered by another beep.
Говорят, что ежели тебе этот дьявол заприметить, то сунет в мешок к себе и дел с концом.
You know, they say if a demon lays its eyes on you, it'll snatch you, put you in his bags, and you're done.
Но меня он не трогает.
But he won't touch me.
Видать,
Likes me, it
нравлюсь
seems.
я ему. Вот и забудь меня чертовой невестой.
So they even call me the devil's wench.
Что правда, то правда.
And it's definitely true.
Опустившимися до звериного образа жизни хищник брезгует.
The carnivorous monster will not touch...
невинную
Sorry.
кровь.
The carnivorous monster will not touch those who fell to the level of forest beasts, going for the innocent child's blood instead.
Теперь все чаще хозяин леса
Okay, so he eats
видит
them,
в
I guess.
поселениях на периферии нашей родины.
The forest monster's presence is felt more and more on the outskirts of our country. Torn between believing in what was said and shrugging it away, I decided to record the remaining part of the documentary for some reason. I quickly grabbed the tape that was on top of the TV and put it on the VCR without even looking at the cover. Ah! I pressed rec and then, or record, turned the sound up and paid attention to the sleeping signal.
Хозяином леса его прозвали не просто так.
It's not called the forest master for nothing.
Ему подчиняются все звери, пернатые и лохматые.
All the animals
Они
obey it.
предвестники появления самого чудовища.
Be they hairy or feathery, they're all precursors of its appearance.
Если слышите вой вдалеке, то скорее всего он знает, где вы живете.
If you hear howls in the distance, then it most likely already knows where you live.
Если порог дома истоптан звериными следами, а за окном караулят птицы, прячьтесь, он уже идет за вами.
If you find animal prints all over your doorstep and birds watching you from the trees, you'd better hide. It's already coming for you. Oh no, it's coming for my sister! It's coming for Olga because she's like super innocent and cheery and happy and all that stuff.
А если однажды ночью, проснувшись, вы увидите глаза в окне, то скоро.
And if you wake up at night and see a pair of eyes in your window, then soon,
Скоро.
then soon,
Скоро.
then soon,
Скоро.
then soon. Oh no, my sister.
Скоро.
Then soon,
Скоро.
then soon. Fuck you. Oh no. The TV suddenly went mad and looped the last word over and over, piercing my ears. Oh no. I got goosebumps all over my spine. The tape ended and was rewinding to the beginning. The sound of rustling tape reminded me of lips in the wind and the low howl of the beast. I woke up from my stupor and pressed the button. The VCR ejected the tape, and for a moment I thought it was stained with saliva. But that was just the light of the chandelier making the black plastic glossy. Peter Pan. Ah, and then I saw the cover. Oops, I recorded it over Peter Pan. Yay! I'm so smart. That's what I get for hurrying. It was bad enough that I ruined Olga's cartoon, but I also put this creepy stuff over it. I can't let her see this. We'll drown in tears. I snuck a glance at the door. I could hear the clatter of glass and the squeaky floorboards. Olga appeared in the doorway.
Ты не смотришь без меня?
You haven't started without me, have you? Oh, she's adorable. Oh my god, I feel horrible. My sister brought the tray with unevenly cut bread and a whole can of condensed milk.
Нет,
No.
я пока кассету ищу.
I was looking for the tape.
А ты точно хочешь Питера Пэна смотреть?
Do you really want to watch Peter Pan? Oh god.
Хочу.
I do. God damn it.
Включай скорее, а то мама скоро сядет свой бразильский сериал смотреть.
Turn it on already. Mom will come to watch her Brazilian drama soon. Oh no, La Rosa de Guadalupe, no. Well, that's not Brazilian. That's Mexican, I think. But oh no. Come on, think, fake detective.
Честно, мне как-то Питер Пэн совсем не понравился.
You know, I didn't like Peter Pan.
Может, лучше «Русалочку»?
Maybe we should watch Little Mermaid instead?
Русалочку я уже насмотрелась.
I've already seen it so many times.
А ты обещал.
And you promised me. She's right. She's so stubborn.
Придумал. Давай сначала пару серий «Черепашек-ниндзя». Согласна?
I know, let's watch a couple of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles episodes first. Deal? Olga frowned but ultimately gave up. She put down the tray and crossed her hands on her chest.
Если так сильно просишь,
If you want it so much,
откроешь сгущенку. Порезаться боюсь. Края острые.
can you open the milk can? I'm afraid I'll cut myself with the sharp edges. As soon as I stood up, colorful dots popped up before my eyes, and my sore legs were pierced by thousands of needles. What the fuck did you take? What are the pills that your mom gave to you? Only when I reached the sofa, I realized the can was already open. Olga had tricked me. She played me for a fool. My stomach became heavy. I wanted to rush towards the TV, but my little sister was faster. She picked up the remote and proclaimed in a victorious tone,
Повелся, повелся!
"Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha." Oh, fuck.
Владычица пульта приказывает смотреть Питера Пэна!
As the remote's master, I command you to watch Peter Pan. Oh god. I couldn't even open my mouth and the VCR had already eaten the accursed tape. She'll play it and then black crosses on unnamed graves, empty crypts, bloody scraps on the snow, and the insane devil's wench. I'd better tell the truth.
Оля, стой!
Olga, stop.
Я тебе конец кассеты нечаянно стер.
I erased the end of your tape by accident.
Отдай ее мне и возьми любые 2 мои.
I'll trade it with you for 2 of mine.
Ты чего?
What do you mean?
Не мог ты стереть? Мы с папой всем кассетам зубики пластмассовые выломали.
You couldn't erase
Отверткой.
it. Me and Dad had broken off those plastic pins with a screwdriver.
Теперь ни на один мой мультфильм ничего записать нельзя.
You can't record anything over my cartoons now. Oh, thank God. My little sister pressed the triangular play button on the remote. I squeezed on the inside, awaiting for the out-of-this-world voice of the narrator. But I saw the duel between Peter Pan and Captain Hook instead. Oh, fuck, thank God. My head, heavy as a leaden ball, now rested on my hands. Olga smiled in joy. She put the tape on rewind and started spreading milk over her bread. When the cartoon started, she forgot about everything in the world, as if she really got transported to the Neverland like she always wished. To be honest, I also imagined myself there, in a land where one never ages, where no one ever argues over little things. Have you watched the movie? And where no one listens to fights and the sound of broken plates at night. But now Peter Pan's land was especially far away from me. My thoughts dragged on, stumbled upon the horned beast that awaited me among the trees, and the narrator's mournful voice haunted me, sliding over bushes and ravines, like a winged carnivore would track its prey. It felt like I was dreaming with my eyes still open. Then my sister's scream pulled me back to reality.
Тоша, скорее, штору задерни!
Tosha, shut the curtains, fast!
Зачем?
Why?
Никто же на тебя не
No
смотрит.
one's watching you.
Уже темно, а когда темнеет, прилетает сова.
It's dark, and when it's dark, the owl comes.
Я боюсь.
I'm scared. I got out of bed, fighting my drowsiness, and closed the curtains. Okay. I did my best not to look outside towards the treetops, towards the taiga forest which seemingly drew closer and closer. Of course, it was just a visual effect from the shadow of branches scraping the snow.
Тоша, мама думает, что я напридумывала про сову.
Tosha, Mom thinks I made the old up.
И папа считает, что раз я маленькая, это значит врушка.
And Dad too thinks I'm a liar because I'm small. Oh.
А сова есть.
But the old exists.
Вот честная-пречестная, есть она.
Honestly, it does.
Ты же мне веришь?
You do believe me, right?
Что
Yes,
она
I do.
там
Poor girl.
каждую ночь прилетает и...
That it comes every night, and I swiftly grabbed Olga's hand and looked her in the eyes. I was trying to transfer at least some of my courage and determination. But did I really have those
Я
qualities?
тебе верю, слышишь?
Yes, I believe you, alright? Oh, thank
Ты
God.
только родителям больше не рассказывай про
Just
сову.
don't nag our parents about it anymore.
У них и так хлопот по горло, они только рассердятся.
They're already dealing with a lot, so they'll just get mad at you.
Ты мне говори, если что случится.
Come and tell me if anything happens.
И в окно не смотри.
And don't look out the window.
Но она хочет, чтобы я смотрела.
But it wants me to look.
Перехочет.
Doesn't matter.
Притворись, что ее нет и не было никогда, что она выдумка, как родители говорят.
Act like it doesn't exist and never existed. Like it's made up, just like Mom and Dad say.
Ей ждать надоест, она улетит.
It'll get tired of waiting and fly away. I don't like where this is going. We followed Peter Pan's adventures as if nothing had happened, as if the forest didn't kidnap kids, as if our parents weren't tearing each other apart bit by bit. Shit, man. Captain Hook was running away from a crocodile, and Captain Pan was headed to London on a gilded sailboat. By some miracle, I lasted longer than my little sister. Olga's eyelids had dropped, and she started snoring lightly, resting her chin on the side of the bed. The chorus was singing the ending song. The world of Disney was lit up by a silvery moon. Oh no! Another moon peeked from under the first one. Scary and one hanging over the taiga forest. The horrific report got recorded right over the credits. Oh god. No, she's gonna take it away, is she? My throat went dry, my pulse became faster. I looked towards Olga. She smacked her lips in her sleep. Please don't wake up. For the love of God. I squeezed the remote with all my might, ready to press stop at any moment. I rewound the recording, checked if it was intact, then carefully took out the tape. The protective pins was still in place. I stood up and left Olga's room. Don't leave Olga alone. Whether it was by providence or by curse, I hid the tape alongside the mitten at the exact moment Mom peeked into my room. Oh no.
Довольно баловства.
Enough playing around.
Завтра первый день в школе.
It's your first day at school tomorrow.
Ложись, тебе надо выспаться.
Go to bed, you should sleep properly.
Не хочешь же ты, чтобы тебя все дразнили Соней?
You don't want to be teased for being sleepy, right? Oh god, oh god. My sister, I can't leave my sister alone. Adult thinks everything is so simple, as if sound sleep would ensure my classmates would like me. That's true. I covered myself with a blanket up to my neck and listened to the house humming, to something invisible rustling in the corners. My inner voice had a question for me. Do I want to hear that mysterious flute again? Yes or no? No! Maybe it's just a part of growing up, and I can't fully understand my own desire. The forest well behind the barrier that was my walls. Some ethereal entity wandered the field. Branches shook as if calling for me. The wind howled on and on in the night. My thoughts were like annoying flies that entered my head before becoming weak and tangled. I didn't notice how I fell into slumber. It has come after all. The day I feared the most, the first day of a new school term. Okay, I'm gonna leave it here. We'll do a new video for next chapter, but today, it's over. This is all my heart can take. 1, 2 jump scares and I'm done. So, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for sticking around. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that you stick around for next episode. I hope you subscribe if you feel like my content could be for you. Thank you, and goodbye.